Okay, so now I'm gonna start working the face. I'm not super pleased with how it is looking because it does not look narrow enough and it doesn't quite look like Stella, so I'm feeling a little bit mm, like not in love with this drawing. But I'm gonna keep working it because I think it's important to do that. And if I don't like it in the end, then, you know, I will do another one. So I'm seeing a lot more darkness in the face. So I'm going to start adding that. I apologize for the sort of constant zooming clarity. I think maybe her mouth is too low. Maybe her nose is too small. Okay, so the nose, though, has to get really, really dark circles. And it's important to leave the highlight. So I'm going to go in and leave a little bit of the whiteness of the highlight. And come close to the center with sort of an oval situation. And that should help a little bit. And then the bottom of her nose is not looking quite so severely curved as I originally thought. And the top of the nose kind of has this sort of diagonal thing going. So maybe that will help a little bit with the reality, the look of reality. Then right here is sort of where the nose ends. And if you leave it highlighted, that'll help it look like it sticks out into the world. I'm using an ebony pencil now by Prismacolor. This is really where the dark parts are going to come in. So I see a spot on the side, on either side. Using a reference photo always helps. And these spots connect to that darkness. And then there's sort of this curving thing that happens up at the top of her face. And it's all pretty dark in here except for where it's not. And that's where it's sort of like gray or white. At the top I see some kind of texture-y stuff happening. And this, so it's the lines are going to curve out toward the sides of the face. The ears are the darkest thing that I'm seeing. So in a second I'm going to go back to the ears. But around the nose I'm seeing shading, and I'm just, since we're doing a dog, the shading isn't going to be as smooth. It's going to be more like showing the hairs of the dog so that it looks more fuzzy. This is also going to make, if you don't like what you're doing, it's going to kind of hide the mess of the work if you have messed up in your own opinion. Let's see. So below the eye and like right above it, or it seems to be part of it, is this sort of shadow where the eye recedes into the head of the dog and creates almost a triangular shape. And then again, the ears seem to be the darkest part of her body, so I'm going to go in and kind of try to make it a little flatter, but it's kind of hard to do that. So do some of this shading. The part that's all messed up for me is the chin. I'm really struggling to get that the way that I want it to look. Because she's got such a fabulous she beard, as most terriers do, or many. And it's kind of difficult to show the whiteness, because with white hair, you're not really like drawing it. You're sort of like suggesting that it's there with your pencil, and that can be a very difficult task to achieve. So I'm mostly seeing, I'm trying to get the eyes to look a little more realistic, and her hair does cover some of her eyes, so that's kind of difficult. Let's see. So now I got this. Yeah, I definitely think that her lips are a little too long. A little too. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix those. And I'm gonna lightly redraw them. It looks like she looks so serious. She's a really small little lip. But that seems more correct. And since it's real dark, I'm gonna do real dark. And it seems like the shadow of the hair kind of comes off the lip. So I'm gonna do it from the lip instead of trying to get the white hairs to look right. So I kind of outline the lip with the shading so that it would be a little easier. And now I'm going to connect some hairs. And then the lip has a couple of little highlights. So I'm going to just make a circle for that. And then it looks like she has like 3 more little circles. And I'm going to color in a circular motion and leave those circles blank. And that's going to make it look like she has highlights on her little adorable lips. Now, so her hair goes down on both sides, and to create her chin. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to kind of, let's see, from her lips, she's going to have definitely hair that curves like to the sides of the paper. So like to show distance, you'd have a like kind of straight line of hair, but then as you move like toward the other side of the paper, you're going to have that hairy look pointing out toward the sides. This goes for eyelashes on humans and eyebrows, things like that are going to point toward the side of the paper that they're on. So now I'm seeing, now we are working in the same house. So anyway, let's see. So I'm seeing like, basically what you're going to draw when you're drawing white hair is the lines that would create the shadow in the white hair, or that would be between the white hair. So like it's hard to describe. You're kind of just like adding shading into the spots that would be the darkest, and then like letting loose lines dictate where that hair is going, and you just leave it lighter there. So her hair is a little bit wilder and than what I've done. So I'm going to use the blender and do some blending here because I feel a lot more confident about how I've got her face looking. Starting to look more like the dog I know and love. I'm gonna add in some of the shadows that I see into that whiteness. Okay. So, since this is 10 minutes, I'm going to pause it, I'm going to stop it, and do another video for the erasing part.